What we mean by the big conversations when you're not married, it's even a better time to have these. But how do you approach money? How do you approach spending?
Saving.
Like, women, and I hate to make a blanketed, assumption, but I've got 12 years of experience and thousands of women to back this up. Most of us have too much cash on hand. So if you look at something like that, even as simply as, hey, I was raised in a family where they worked really hard and my parents told me don't have debt and save everything. And there might have been no trauma around money, but that's the money story you learned. And then your husband comes in or your partner and says, well, that doesn't work for me. We only need 10 grand. And I say to clients all the time, what expense, what emergency is $30,000, truly. So it's really important to have those kind of conversations at the next level.
And you have to know how to have these conversations in terms of your own ability to emotionally regulate. And that means that your nervous system is what I call connected to your sage self. That's your wise, loving adult. And when you're in that place, you're grounded, you're able to be curious and hear your partner's money story, your partner's fears, because we know money activates so much fear for people. That's what's underneath a lot of these arguments that go wrong. So if you're able to come from your sage self and say, hey, the other day when I saw, $1,000 leave the checking account, and I'm making this up, and you hadn't mentioned it to me, right? I got panicked. Exactly. And I spent some time sitting with it. And what I realized is my story was that we're spending and we're not going to be okay if there's an emergency. And it made me want to go and yell at you because I thought we agreed we'd tell each other about big expenditures. Yep. But instead, I'm coming to you to tell you I feel afraid and I'm confused by why you did something that we had agreed differently. Can you help me understand where you're coming from? Now, you can't do that if you're not grounded. If you lead out of your fear, your anger, you're going to be in that story of I can't believe he did this. We agreed on this. Why did you do that?
Ready for a fight.
And then we're never going to get to the part of the money story and the money fear that we need to.
Because you're too busy arguing about the stuff that doesn't matter.
And we don't want to lead with reactivity, but we want to say, hey, that upset me. And I want to share with you what it is about me that opened up.
Well, and think about it even this way. And I think that fundamentally the easiest way to avoid all of this is, again, just not being quiet about these conversations.